We love life, and you have to complete it for me that we love your health. And that's why we always bring those things to you so that you can be healthy, be aware of some of the things you might be doing wrong and the things that you are just doing for fun that could be hurting you or harming you in the long or short run. So you're welcome every Saturday morning from 8 till 8:30 on Smooth 98.1. This is what we discuss. Today, we will be talking about muscle gain, but not just muscle gain, the one that is gained through steroids and the consequences. And you can join us live on YouTube. It is youtube.com/smooth 91 FM Lagos. Again, youtube.com/smooth 91 FM Lagos. That allows you to stream, save the video, allows you to share with your family and friends, and also allows you to drop your comment using the live chat option. But if you'd like to ask a question later on, you can use WhatsApp. It is 0809-444-0981. That's the WhatsApp line. And the call line is 01-448-9981. So if you have anyone who has a bodybuilding goal or someone who's in the fit fam category, they want bulky muscles and they want it at all costs, I would say you should tell them to gather around because this information is for them. My guest was here last Saturday and I'm glad to have him back again this Saturday. And he is a medical doctor as well as a public health advocate. He is Dr. Oluwaseun Ajidahun. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to be here once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being back here again. All right, so straight to it, let's get to the definition of what steroids are, especially the ones that are used in building muscles, because I understand we've got different types of steroids. So what exactly are the steroids?
All right, so thank you for that question. So I think the first opening statement, I should mention that naturally we have steroids in our body because steroids are a lot of the hormones in our body, like natural hormones, the testicles, ovaries, the adrenal glands, all produce in the body. A lot of them produce steroids. So naturally we'll have things like testosterone, which is the male sex hormone, estrogen, which is the female sex hormone. These are natural steroids that are produced in the body. And just like we have natural steroids, we have synthetic steroids, which is like which are still the same steroids but are synthesized outside the body because they have uses. There's some conditions we use them for medically. So yes, so in context of what we're talking about today, we're talking about mainly testosterone because that is what the one that it's the index of discussion today, and it's a synthetic one. So it's a synthetic male hormone, and it's usually the one that a lot of people use for muscle building, which I alluded in. Thanks.
Okay, I think before I even go further to understanding the components of the steroids, you said male. So is it only males that take the steroids, the synthetic steroids?
Okay, no, it's not only males, but it's in the body we have male sex hormones, female sex hormones. Now, testosterone is majorly a male sex hormone, even though in the female body we have a little amount of testosterone, but we don't want to have a lot of testosterone in the female body because if a woman has a lot of testosterone in her body, she starts to become manly. She'll start not seeing her period. Her voice can change. She just becomes like a man. So majority of the testosterone are male sex hormones. The female sex hormones are things like what we call estrogen, estradiol, and all of that. But people do abuse them. For example, when you have maybe people that want to run races, I'm sure if you've always heard about cases of people being disqualified by maybe Olympics and all of that racing agency. It is when they take all this steroids because it's going to help them run very fast, build their muscles, get very, very fit and all of that. So people, both sexes do abuse it, but it is a synthetic hormone, which is a male sex hormone. But it can be abused by any of the, just like women too could abuse estrogen, which is primarily a female sex hormone.
Well, since you already segued into the possible benefits and uses, we can as well just talk about it fully because there has to be reasons, tons of reasons why people will take the synthetic steroids. So what are those things that could be the positive effect on your body when the things are taken?
Okay. Now, I should mention at this juncture that There are medical reasons why we prescribe some synthetic steroids sometimes. Now, the problem is when people start to abuse them. So I'll just go through a lot of some medical reasons because some people might be on some of these synthetic steroids for some reasons. Okay, so let me just quickly explain how the axis of how this hormone even works in the body. So how it works is that from the brain produces. I'm trying not to get very medical, but just there's something produced in the brain that regulates the sex hormones in the body. Then the sex hormones then stimulate or tell the testicles to produce testosterone. So majority of the testosterone in the body actually comes from the testes. Also, there's an organ called adrenal gland, which is just close to the kidney in the body, which also produce a little bit of testosterone. And what testosterone does a lot of things in the body. For example, in males, it's responsible for the libido, the sexual powers. It's responsible. It helps in the muscle building. It changes the voice. Just everything. Just imagine everything that makes a man manly. It's responsible for that. So some conditions where we use them, well, sometimes when you have some men that don't have enough testosterone, there's something we call hypogonadism. So maybe for some reasons, the testicles are not able to produce. Some people are born with some conditions where they cannot produce testosterone. So yes, a doctor could prescribe that for them. Even sometimes, some women that have osteoporosis. Now, one thing is, that as time goes on, when women hit the menopause age, because of the change in sex hormones, they are prone to things like fractures, osteoporosis, which is the bones can get frail, which is one of the common complaints of women that have menopause. A lot of things. Sometimes people that have anemia, all these are reasons we prescribe it medically. Now, for those that abuse it, majority of people that actually abuse it, one is they abuse it because they want to build muscle mass and enhance their appearance. And I think the context tweet that went viral that time was I poked it my experience with someone that was a bodybuilder and was taking it. I'm sure we'll come to the side effects later. So majority of people that use it, they want maybe for people that are into weightlifting, anything that requires a lot of strength. So weightlifting, people that run races, competition, bodybuilders, bouncers, all of these people, because from what I explained earlier, testosterone is able to give you all that manly look. So it gives you the muscle mass, it makes you very bulky, buffy, and all of that. So yeah, majority of people that abuse it in both sexes are those people that engage in all those things. So fitness, people that are in the fitness industry, weightlifters, people that run races and all of that. Yeah, they do abuse it.
Well, thank you very much for that. We can as well just go to the side effect and consequences that are associated with using synthetic steroids.
Okay. So now these side effects I will be mentioning are side effects based on abuse because obviously if a patient is on it also, every drug has its side effect. I want to explain to them. But we're talking about abuse and we're not talking about testosterone and steroid as a prescription medication. Now, one of the first thing is that it can cause an imbalance of the hormones in the body. Now, the way the body works is that there's an axis that regulates the hormones in the body. For example, if there's a lot of hormone, the body comes to say, okay, reduce it. If it's a little, the body, there's just regulation. Now, many of the steroids, they distort all of that. So they just, let me say in the word, they just scatter all the hormones in the body. That's one. Now, the next thing they do is, for example, now, in the case of testosterone, so normally the testicles. Let me use the word balls since I'm on live now. So the word balls. So the balls is involved in producing sperm and producing testosterone. Now, when they take steroids like testosterone, they have a lot of testosterone in the body. So the body looks at it like, oh, there's already a lot of testosterone, so I don't really have to work There's a lot of testosterone in the body, so the balls in quote kind of go to sleep. Now the ball as the balls go to sleep, what happens? The balls is still the same balls that make sperm. The balls is the one that makes testosterone. So they
Maybe
start
we
to
should
have
stick to testicles.
okay,
Let's stick to that.
testicles.
Yeah.
Okay, so testicles. Let me use the testicle because yeah. So the testicles are the ones that make sperm and testosterone. So they go to sleep. Um, and so when they go to sleep, what happens? They are not able, they stop producing sperm, and the man starts to have infertility. And now, since the testicles are also not producing testosterone, the man now starts to have loss of functions based on low testosterone. So the libido goes down, the man's voice can change and all of that. And now one thing is in the body, there's a balance between the male and female sex hormone. Since testosterone is going down because the body is not producing enough, the female sex hormones will start to increase in the body. So what will happen? The man starts to grow breasts because in women, the female sex hormone helps them develop breasts. The man also can have some voice change. The man can just look different. Now, if it was a woman that was taking that, what would the woman notice? The woman can now get manly, like she just looks like, I think in Colem says something like tomboy, what they call tomboy. Some of them can now start having abnormalities in their menstrual cycle because the female sex hormones are meant to produce it. But now that you're having a lot of synthetic steroids in the system, they start to have menstrual problem. Some of them can also then have change of voices. So the woman's voice will start to change, and another thing is that many of these steroids actually have a lot of effect on the mental health. These things can actually cause hallucination. Some of them can cause psychosis. Some of them are associated with things like anxiety, depression, and all of that. So many things. And the worst of it all is that some of these steroids also increase the rate of people having cancers, which is why I put that last. Because when people are taking it, a lot of time in the body, a lot of the steroids are also part of, if you look at the way cancer has come, steroids are also part of those chemicals and quote that feed cancers. So when you're exposing yourself to all some of these steroid, they can actually increase the chances of one having cancers and other things are organ damage. We know that when people take it, they have higher chances of having heart attacks. They have of having stroke. And some people could actually die suddenly. I'm sure we've seen news where they'll just say, this bodybuilder was just met dead in his apartment. These are things that steroids could predispose one to having things.
Wow, that is a lot. And it's obvious. I want to assume that people who abuse these things are not aware of all these consequences and side effects. Because if you know that as a man, you're going to start having increased breast, you're going to have a decreased production of testosterone, that you're going to risk infertility, I don't know if you would want to continue the usage of that. Now, speaking of, I know we mentioned something like that last week when we were talking about the control of nitrous oxide. In terms of the access to the steroids, how accessible are they? Is it something you can just walk into a pharmacy to get, or how do you get them?
Okay. Very nice question. So the thing is, I don't think it's a prescription drug. So I don't think pharmacists would just hand you over testosterone if you go there. But the thing is that it's a maintenance in the bodybuilding industry, and they have like there's a way they are able to get it. I don't know how they get it. You understand? But from my discussion with that person I tweeted, it's really a thing that people that are in the bodybuilding industry don't really have problems getting because it's like a circle since they all use it. So it's like once you're in that circle, you're a bodybuilder or you are doing something, you can easily get it. Same way a lot of athletes and all of that get it. So it's a circle. When you're in that thing, in the circle, there's accessibility to steroids become very, very easy.
So in that case, if you're trying to control the usage, it means there is not much that can be done since it's already a prescription drug, or how can it be controlled?
Well, it can be controlled. Now, the first thing is that Like I said, it's not an over-the-counter drug where you can just walk and just buy an OTC drug. No, you need a prescription. For example, imagine someone that has what I call hypogonadism, which is the body is not producing enough of those testosterone that you want to supplement it. Obviously, that person would go with a prescription. But this is the 21st century. Apart from that, many people have access to some of these things. If you check online, vendors, you have vendors that hawk these things, advertise all these things on Instagram, Snapchat, and all of that. So I think what we can do is to clamp down on those illegal sales, because I for pharmacies, I don't you cannot just get it from pharmacies. A pharmacist will say, no way, I need to see your prescription. But it is when you get it from these vendors and these people that hawk it at parties, and people that are into this body, all those areas that people get it from are illegal, except the pharmacy, which they will ask you for a prescription, because we know it's a drug that if you're going to put someone on, you need to really monitor the person. You really need to do all of that, because so they don't have, it can often cause hypertension. Sorry, I forgot to mention, it can cause
Mm.
hypertension also. So these are things you need to talk about to the patient. So it's strictly controlled, but abused because of illegal sales, just like any other hard drug.
Mm. Thank you. That already answers the question of the status of the legality of steroids in Nigeria, because I had that on my mind earlier. But speaking about the side effects that you mentioned earlier, so what are those factors that determine the severity of all this effect, from the infertility to maybe baldness, in fact? Is it the dosage or the prolonged usage?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So the first is prolonged usage, because these are steroids and you have to be exposed to it constantly. You understand, for you to have most of the side effect. That's one. Then two, sometimes the status of the organ. So, for example, imagine someone that has kidney diseases already or a liver disease and does not know and start to take all of this. Obviously, that kind of person will come down quickly and faster with side effects than someone that does not have that, because your kidneys help to clear all these steroids. If once people take it, the liver help to metabolize it and break it down. And imagine someone does not have the liver working well, the person would definitely have accumulation of these dangerous steroids. So and the kidneys also are involved in excretion. If the kidneys are not doing well, the person will will also have increased chances of it accumulating. Another thing to also mention is, since it causes cancers, imagine someone already had an early stage cancer and the person does not know, and the person goes on steroids. Obviously, that kind of person can then come down quickly with cancer than other things. Like, imagine someone that does not check his blood pressure, has a background hypertension, does not know. So all that will predispose the person to having early heart attacks and all of that. So the status of the person and how long the person has been using it, also coupled with the dose of using, also is very, very important to how quickly they will develop side effects.
Okay. Now, in the ones that this thing has been prescribed for, it means they would have to stick to their dosage. And does it mean there is a chance also that they could have the side effect? Just to be crystal clear.
Okay, well, yes, the people on it also they can, but don't forget that they are going to be having follow-up visits. And
Okay.
when you notice some side effects, you also want to tail down the doses, you want to adjust the doses. That's why you give those category of people come for follow-up visits. They don't just go home. And at some point, you are measuring the testosterone. If you are seeing they are improving, you also want to quote reduce it on and stop the drug. You understand?
Uh,
It's not something like they have to be on for life. It's something that they take for the time being. You're monitoring them. They are coming to clinic, and when this even when they're having some side effects, you could adjust the dose. So maybe someone was taking it every day or 2 times a day, you can say, okay, oh, because of this side effect you're having, I'm going to reduce it to once a day. Okay, now we're taking it on alternate day. So it's you are visiting the doctor is seeing you, addressing the complications, and when it had achieved what it was intended to achieve, the person can stop, which is different from those ones that just use it recreationally.
Thank you for that clarity. If anyone has any question now, speak now. Don't forever hold your peace. We've got about 3 minutes for us to take your questions and your feedback or contribution. So the line you're sending it to is 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. And if you have something to say, you can call 01 448 9981. Again, 01 448 9981. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Smooth 98.1. The show is called Soul Food. Every Saturday from 8 till 8:30, we discuss health and wellness. And this morning, we're talking about muscle gain through steroids, especially the side effect, the consequences, and the risks associated with it. And my guest has been Dr. Oluwaseun. We've mentioned a number of things. I'll do a quick recap. Number one is that steroids, are in the body. And then we've got the synthetic one as well. And if it is abused, because there are some that can be placed on this prescription, but if it is abused and it is not taken with medical supervision and strict adherence to the dosage, if it is used recreationally, or you're using it to build muscles for the sake of looking good, well, there are side effects. Like, as a man, you could be having increased breast. You could also be predisposing yourself to baldness. There is infertility. There is decreased production of testosterone and some other things. And for women, it could be deepening your voice, according to Dr. Sina. It could also result in irregular menstrual cycles and some other things. So please be careful of what you are doing. Now, on a final note, since we have said don't, if they want to get muscle and they want to be fit, they want to be toned, they want to be a little bit bulky in a healthy way, how can they go about it?
Okay, so very nice question. I think everybody wants to look bulky. Everyone wants to have all that juice and have nice muscles. So first is eat healthy. Healthy eating, because the majority of your muscle bulk and all of that is all protein. So make sure you eat healthy. And also, enrolling in the gym is not a bad idea, because when you go to the gym, the more you do fitness stuff like, you know, healthy lifting of weight and all of that. So I think those work. Eating healthy, reducing alcohol intake and cigarette smoking, and visiting the gym, and having doing all that fitness things. And I think that is good enough. I don't subscribe to anything artificial or taking synthetic products to build muscle, because at the end of the day, it has a lot of side effects.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Faisal asked that question just about the time I asked it, and he says, I've been trying to build muscles, but not the drug way. I am almost giving up because he has lean body mass, and he says he has cut down his daily regimen drastically. What then can one take to increase muscle mass? Now, you have heard a bit about it from Dr. Sina, but I promise you that next week we'll have a fitness trainer who has gained muscles the healthy way, not with steroids, and we will make that an entire topic for about 25 minutes or 30 minutes so that you know how to go about it. But if there are points to be extracted from what Dr. Sina has said, protein, healthy protein, not just anyhow protein, eat lots of protein, I believe, and then lift weights, you said, right?
Yes. Also, visiting the gym also can help with that.
Okay. All right, then that's it for now. Thank you for your time, Dr. Sina. Is there any last words you would like to leave us with?
Okay. Well, my last word would be that concerning this topic is that I think it's been very good. We've been talking about the illegal recreational use of some things, and I believe we young people, we need to take our health seriously, because most of these vices you would see they are found more with young people. Right now, the healthcare in Nigeria is expensive in this economy, and you want to err on the side of prevention. So everything you can do to take your health very seriously, and not, just go to hospital for some emergencies. You should try to do that. Don't do hard drugs. All of these things look trendy. When you watch TV, they'll make it look so interesting. Oh, I want to look buffy. I want to take balloons. I want to get high. I want to be like a celebrity. Please just try and not do them. And if you have issues, talk to a doctor, because you might want to experiment with some things that are dangerous to your health. And I will put up with that. And yeah, if you also like health content, I do a lot of that on social media. You can just follow my handle, the Bearded Shina. And I usually host sessions and post tweets and content to go surrounding health, and I'll be glad to engage in it. So that'll be my last note. Thank you.
Thank you, as always. We look forward to another chat with you one of these days about one of those things you enjoy talking about and enlightening the public on. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the show. We are done for now, but in about 10 minutes, I will return, and it will be the time for the children between 6 to 15 years of age on the show called Curious Mind. So you should prepare to hand over your phone to them and then tell them to come and learn how to spell or learn some words and just increase their knowledge generally. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Have yourself a lovely day.
Thank you so much. Hope it went well. I think it went well,
Yeah,
right?
it did. It did.
Okay, okay. All right, and thank you so much, having. And thank you for the meal also. I really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank you so